Hey y'all, this is a long one, and I don't think I can go through and do put your finger here and then here and then here, because I'd lose my place through it. If I'm doing it one little phrase at a time, I would have to keep starting over to get to that point again every time I explain something. So, because it really is like a story, it's hard to break it into pieces and teach one little part of it. But we'll see how this goes, and if this doesn't work, then we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go through it very slow, and hopefully you'll be able to get both hands. So just so you know, it's standard tuning. It's not open G. So set open G aside for this. Standard tuning, standard pitch. And it's a solo in E minor pentatonic, and I don't think he strays from E minor pentatonic the whole way through. Keith doesn't anyway. Mick T does his, and he goes back and forth between major and minor. But anyway, this one's in E minor pentatonic. So it starts on the A string. Most of the solo is on the D and G strings between 12 and 14, and it's remarkable how much of a tune he can get out of these four notes. You know, he gets a lot of music out of just that. So let's try this one really slow. Starts on the A string at the 7th fret to D string. That's D string. Back onto A. That's low E string at 7th fret. From A to D string. D string. And that's the whole solo. I'll try it again. And that's it. Give it a try, slowing that or rewinding that, and get one little phrase at a time, and see how you make out, because I really would love for people to learn it without having to go through and say A string 7th fret to D string 5th fret. You know, that's so tedious, and it's hard to do without playing it in little bits and pieces. And if I play it in little bits and pieces and try to do it, then it becomes a 30-minute video. So it's really not that. It sounds difficult, and it's one of the all-time great live solos, if it is indeed live. It's one of the great live solos. Probably Keith's finest as a lead player, anyway. But it's not anywhere near as hard as it seems. Mick T's, on the other hand, I think is a lot more of a difficult solo. And there's a guy, I forget who he is, and I apologize for not giving him props for this, but there's a guy on YouTube who just plays it absolutely perfectly. He plays Mick T's solo, and my hat is off to that guy, because he just kills it. And if I look it up, I'll post his name so you can see it. But just look him up and look up Mick T's solo that he does, and he gets it perfectly. If you want to see how that one's done, he even slows it down too. So he's a pretty good teacher too. Anyway, that right now, since Duke plays Virginia Tech in 15 minutes, this is all I have time for right now. So give that one a whirl, and don't give up on it until you try it. I think a lot of people, their first instinct is to see something they want to play and immediately ask for a lesson without ever actually sitting down and trying to play it. And I really think that if you try it first, if your first instinct is to try it yourself instead of ask for a lesson, I think you'd really be surprised how many things you can learn on your own just by sitting and trying it. The other thing is, on this one, before I ever learned to play it or tried to play it or even thought about trying to play it, I had heard that solo 15,000 times and listened to it over and over again, appreciated its beauty, got into the ebb and flow of the solo, the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's a great, well-constructed solo, but you really got to listen to it a bunch of times. So listen to it a few times at the very least before sitting down and expecting to be able to nail it the first time you try it. But have a whirl at that and see how you do, and let me know how you make out. Bye.